welcome to another On Purpose podcast. So excited that you're here. Go ahead and subscribe so you never ever miss a segment. And again, I am Thawana, your host, and this is On Purpose. And we're so excited that you're here. I have an amazing guest. He is amazing. I think he's amazing. Your opinion may be different, and it's fine, but he's amazing in my eyes. I have with me today my amazing brother, Minister Elder Kenneth Felton. Woo! Give him some virtual applause, guys. Mine won't be virtual. You'll hear me. So, I'm so excited that you're here.
Glad to be here.
Are you really?
I am glad to be here.
Are you nervous?
I'm a little nervous.
It's
I'm
okay.
A little nervous, yeah.
It's okay. It won't hurt.
It won't hurt.
It won't hurt. So again, this is my brother. I don't do the in-law things. My twin sister's husband. This is my brother, and that's exactly what he is to me and what he's always been to me. And so it is a real honor. It is a real honor to have you here on this platform to talk about something really amazing. And I'll share that with you guys in a minute. But I'll give you a minute to introduce yourself a little bit farther. And whatever you want them to know, you can tell them. And then you can look back at me and I'll know to move on.
All right. Well, of course, you already said my name is Elder Kenneth Felton. And I have a wife, Shawana Felton, Imani, and Angela, and Kenneth Felton, my children, Kenneth Felton Jr., and my children. And I'm just glad to be here and be here with my sister.
Aww.
That's who I am. I'm a husband and an elder at the Citadel.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so what is something that you enjoy doing the most? It can be a hobby. It can be whatever. What is it that you want them to know that you enjoy doing? What brings you real joy?
Well, I think there's several things. Number one thing is being in God's presence.
I love that.
Being in God's presence.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy God's presence more than anything, and that's number one.
Mm-hmm.
And the second thing is my lovely wife. I call her Diamond.
It's Diamond. For real, y'all. That's what he calls her. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, it's for the ones of you that know us and go to church with us. Like, when he talks about her, that's yeah. So, okay, it's not hard to figure out what you mean when you say that. But at some point, you decided to call her, refer to her that way. Tell us.
Well, it was birthed out. It was birthed out of a challenge moment.
Oh wow!
It really birthed out a challenge moment, and I through the challenge moment, I learned how precious she was to me. How precious she was to me, and it revealed to me that she is a jewel to me. She's special to me, and she is my diamond.
Oh, okay. The podcast is over. The podcast is over.
So when she calls me and her picture shows up, it shows up diamond, and that's the way I feel.
How long have you guys been married? Tell them.
26 years.
26 years.
Yeah, 26
Wow.
years. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's been some challenges in those 26 years. What has been the one driving, I don't want to say force in a bad way, what has been that common denominator between the two of you that has put you in a place where you're at 26 years?
Mm-hmm.
If there was a glue that has sustained and held you guys together and kept you fighting for each other and not fighting against each other? What would that be?
The glue is God. I believe God put us together.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And we both love God.
Wow.
And we both are servants
Mm-hmm.
by heart. And so it's natural for us to be supportive to each other.
Yeah.
And to be there for each other.
Mm-hmm.
And we just a match, you know. And there's some
I
things
love
we still have to work. Even though that you're a match, you still some things you have to work on.
Right.
And so we are. I think we are a match. I think I notice if we go out, it's like we're hanging out with you guys.
Mm-hmm.
And we go out of town and things.
Mm-hmm.
And you probably notice it too. The same thing that she wants to do, I want to do.
It's true.
It's not like one wants to go over here, one wants to go over there.
Mm-hmm.
We're just like, okay, this is what we enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
We enjoy.
Okay, so let me just.
You gonna put your plug in that?
Yes, because you know I'm
That's
about
true, right?
to. It's so true. Okay, because we were our two families. We were away for Thanksgiving, and it's so funny because typically, like when we're away, like as ladies, like that's our time to shop or whatever, and we weren't so far away from home that we couldn't have shopped because we weren't flying. We didn't have to pack luggage, and so. Yeah, it was so cute because the home, the Airbnb that we're in, had this amazing movie room on the second level, and they're just two peas in a. You guys are two peas in a pod. It's the funniest thing in the world. Like Shawana and I are very close, but you guys have your own language. Like you have your own unspoken language. It's like you both would just find your way into the movie room, just up there watching movies. I went shopping. I thought she was going to go with me. Honey,
Right.
no. You guys were chilling up there, and there was no pressure to do anything other than be together
Right.
in those little simple moments. And so you guys, and I don't think that is longevity. I think that's the perfect match that you guys have or whatever. And so
Absolutely.
Shawana and I'll chat about it later when, she's on another segment. But I watched you guys. And of course, Jason and I are newly married, a couple of years in. And, we like the same things, but you guys, it's clear. And so it's just it was just warming to watch you guys kind of move around and that kind of thing, and being in the same house. We do spend time together, but being in the same house,
Right.
like it was just the cutest
Yeah,
thing to
for
watch.
days. Yeah, we're in the same house for days.
Yeah, it was the cutest thing to watch. Okay, so this next question is going to be, you talked about you guys serve in ministry together, and you have for all of your marriage. All of your marriage. Kenny started out as adjutant.
Armor bearer.
Yes, back then it was an armor bearer. Now it's gotten very fancy. It's an adjutant now. But so in all the years that you guys have been married, you've served in more than one capacity.
That's correct.
Simultaneously. How have you managed, I don't want to say the boundaries, but how have you managed maintaining who you are, but also serving? And when I say serving, I'm not talking about when it's convenient. I mean, being there early, leaving late. I mean, sometimes being around the church when there is no church to manage things. So when there is church, things go smoothly. So how have you kept the balance in all these years of serving?
Well, I think the thing is, it goes back to who we are, who we are. From my point, and my wife, looking as my wife being there to be their support for my looking on my side, I was able to do what I did and serve the level I served. Is because she had an understanding.
Wow.
Of what I was doing, and she was if I use the word, she was made up that way too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She was made up. Matter of fact, she was brought up that way.
Right.
She was made up that way, and it was never a struggle.
Mm.
It was never a struggle for me serving the church, going on a long trip, and
Yeah, because it came with a lot of
it
traveling.
was a lot of traveling, and I remember one, and this one I haven't really, and I still, this one time is just still play in my head,
Mm-hmm.
and this time I kind of don't feel, I don't want to say I'm bad, but I don't feel as great about it. But I remember traveling on her birthday.
Oh.
I traveled on her birthday, and it's still like, man, it's still like,
It still bothers you?
it kind of because I don't think I felt like that on her birthday I should have been home celebrating her birthday.
Yeah.
But she have never said anything about it. When I came home, it was never an issue. Had never been an issue.
Wow.
It's just a part of me. It's
That
just like,
was you.
yeah, it's like I still feel that. I still feel that. But it has always been easy. It has never been a problem.
Yeah.
That me serving and she serving, because we're kind of made up the same way.
It's what you do. It's what you know.
Right. It's what we know. It's who we are.
Mm-hmm.
We have our difference.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes down to serving,
Mm-hmm.
we're servants.
You are.
We're just serving.
You really are. You really are.
We enjoy doing it. We don't mind doing it. We're not expecting anything back.
Mm-hmm.
We just do it because the Lord's called us to be servants.
And it's so natural for either of you. Like it is, even if you don't function in a particular role anymore, like you like Kenny doesn't serve as per se an adjutant anymore, but it's still so embedded in you. Like I watch you in church. Not that I'm not busy in church, y'all, but I watch you. Like it's still so much a part of you.
It is.
It doesn't go away.
It doesn't go away. It doesn't go. I have to tell myself. I tell myself to stay out of their business. That helps me.
That helps you.
Help my kids stay out of their business.
Stay out of their business.
That helps me.
Oh my goodness.
Because just like today, some things went on in service.
Yeah.
And I was jumping. Inside I was moving.
Yeah.
I was jumping.
Yeah.
But I stayed.
I know.
I stayed level.
I'm telling you, it's a part of you.
Yeah.
It's a part of you.
Yeah.
So what I want to dive into for a little bit is the topic of being your authentic self.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to take you back to a conversation. It wasn't even really a conversation. It was me after church one Sunday saying hi to you or walking up to you.
Right.
And I think the podcast came up.
That's right.
And you said to me, Sissy, whatever you do, stay your authentic self. Be your authentic self. You said, I don't care how anyone else is doing it or whatever. Be authentic to yourself. You remember that, right?
I remember. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So in that moment, how did we get there?
And I remember that moment, and I'm gonna tell you, the moment I saw you in the moment, you was not feeling encouraged.
Oh, you're
about the podcast.
Right.
You was feeling like too many people doing this here.
Yeah.
They doing it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to be prepared to be copying off people. Whatever it was, but it was something there.
I was feeling
you was
stuck.
Hindered. You was stuck.
And I didn't verbalize that.
You didn't verbalize it to me.
Yeah.
You didn't verbalize it to me, and I just felt it. I felt it, and the first thing came out, and I felt it. I think I felt it because I had just experienced some things like that myself.
Wow.
I believe the Holy Spirit allowed us to experience things so when others and when others are in need, we're able to just flow right in.
You can relate.
So you can relate. So I was able, okay, I see what's going on, and I just went right in.
You did. It wasn't a rebuke or anything, but it was a, you know what?
It was a nice conversation.
This is your thing, and whatever it is that has you stuck, you didn't say those words, but you pretty much gave me a little wedgie and was like, Let's
yeah,
go.
yeah. I pulled you up and
You
out.
did.
Yeah.
You really did, because it is a challenge to know that it's something that you really want to do, but then you get stuck in, well, what will people think? And, well, I can't do it this way because somebody else is doing it that way. And you set me free that day. And I believe every since that Sunday, it has been all gas and no brakes.
Absolutely.
It really has. It hasn't been a struggle. But that was a defining moment for me, and it was what I needed. And the thing that you guys, if you don't know him, but if you know him, you know what I'm about to say. This is just a powerhouse, like an intercessor in a way that I have never experienced before, ever, ever, ever. It is who he is at his core. And me and Imani talked about it, because Imani's his lovely daughter, and Imani and I have done 2 podcasts, I believe. And so Imani talked about it. And it's funny because when we talked about you, every time I watch it, I actually made a clip out of it. Every time I talk about you, I said, he is just, and I was trying to come up with the words, and he is a powerhouse. And then Mani, I can't remember the word that Imani used to describe you, but it was pretty much the same. And so you have been that person. I have called you so many times about life, about problems. I have. But you know what? You have been consistent with prayer. And I don't care if I was bawling on the other end of the phone. You always listen, but you always say, well, sissy, we just going to pray about it. We're just going to pray about it. And before you hang up, that's always been your thing. Sissy, just keep it in prayer. Keep it in prayer. And we innately want a quick fix.
Right.
It's just human nature for us to want that thing to be fixed tomorrow. But what I can appreciate about you is your love for intercession has certainly bled over on me.
Absolutely.
And it feels like, I don't care how minute it may be to somebody else. I don't care what prayer looks like for me. Like, if I tried to compare myself to you, I'd be around here crazy, man. What time you get up and pray? Just tell the people what time you get up and pray.
Well, I get up about 3:30, 3:30, 4 o'clock.
Yes, and so I've known this for a while, but again, being in the same house for several days for Thanksgiving, y'all, it's for real. This man is up. I mean, he had that top level of that house. Had some going on. He had some goings on. And it is true. And so, okay, so just remember that. Just a powerhouse. Just an intercessor. So, Kenny, if you could say something to people about being their authentic self, even in adversity, even in moments where you don't quite really know which way to move, how does a person find what they need to center and ground themselves to just be who God's called them to be, no matter what it looks like to other people? How can you encourage someone to just be authentic and not compare themselves, not struggle, and to just kind of get out of their own head?
Yeah.
What would you say?
I have to say, I remember having an experience, I believe with the Holy Spirit. I was going through something, and there was a way that I wanted to respond to it.
Wow.
And I remember the Holy Spirit said, you are not that type of person. He began to start saying, he's saying to me, I want you to start being who I made you.
Wow.
Who, in other words, he was telling me from the inside, the type of person he made me, who I am. I made up different than the next person. And the way I wanted to respond, it was like somebody else.
Opposite.
It was opposite. And so he said, I want you to start working on these traits. These traits are yours. These are yours. He took me back.
Oh my
He
goodness.
said, these traits are yours. My trait is maybe different for you. He said, these are yours. And you know they are yours. You know the type of person you are. He told me, I want you to start back developing them because you had abandoned them. You had abandoned them. I have abandoned them. And I was going to abandon that in this petition thing.
In that moment.
That moment. Because I wanted to take care of it, but I was going to do it not in a way that who I am. And that took me on the journey of being my authentic self. Wow. Being who I am, who God made me. The way you handle a problem, I may not handle that way.
Right, right.
You know? And so that's where he was taking me. He was taking me, no, this is the way I want you to do it. Because this is the way you are.
Right.
And this is what's going to help you. Because a lot of time the problems we go through, a lot of time, it's not a fixing the problem over there, but it's a fixing the problem over here.
Ooh. Ouch.
Because see, once we start fixing the problem over here, then God will take care of the problem over there.
Oh, wow.
And that's the route he was taking me. Okay, let's fix these things. Fix who you are. Be your authentic self. You know, and don't try to fix that problem. Of course, you're going to try to fix it in another way that's not you.
And you probably wouldn't even be proud of yourself after you fixed it.
I would not be proud of myself. I would not have been proud
your
of
way.
I would not have been proud of myself, and the people that know me wouldn't have been proud of. Wouldn't have been proud of me.
So Kenny, is that? Would you say that wanting to fix it your way and abandoning the traits that we have for ourselves? I think life and troubles and situations, they bring out those traits in us. So when we attempt to move through life and deal with them, is that us dealing with them through our flesh, and it's not us yielding ourselves to who God created us to be? Is that like a battle between our flesh and that spirit man that he's created us to be?
Absolutely. I believe when you talk to the spirit, the Bible says it says for us to walk not in the flesh. And if we will walk in the spirit, it won't fulfill the lust of the flesh. And sometimes the lust of the flesh could be you want to solve a problem, you know, and you want to take care of that, and you can do it out of your flesh and out of your spirit, and so. And
it never turns out like you think. You may walk away from those moments, and I'll say this: you may walk away from those moments feeling like, you know, ooh, at least I said what was on my mind. You know what I'm saying? But if you really love God and you really want to be a godly extension of Him and the life that you have tried to live in front of people, you gonna mess that up, and you gonna walk. And typically, what I say to people is, out of all the amazing things that you do, just that one moment where you acted out of godly character. That's what people never ever forget.
They don't forget that.
They don't forget. I don't care how amazing you've been.
Right.
I don't care how many turkeys you bought somebody, how many Christmas lists you filled on the Christmas angel tree.
Right.
I don't care. When you act out of character, not only do you not forgive yourself, because in your heart you know that's not the way you should have responded, but it's those people that look on, and they will never. So the opportunity, if they don't know Christ, the opportunity to invite them to Christ, now that moment is gone, because you have acted up so bad. And don't get stuck. I'm not saying like you cutting nobody's tires, but I'm just saying like sometimes our responses are sharp, and you trying to get back at somebody that way. Sometimes we ignore them, you know. Sometimes we, you know, say stuff that we probably shouldn't say. So I love that at the end of the day, what you said is that we gotta go back to who he created us to be.
Right.
And no matter how people may aggravate us and,
Right.
oh my Jesus, sometimes they do.
Right.
But you can't step out of character. And if you do, like I said, good luck with forgiving
Right.
yourself, because that's where the real work is. Sometimes people will forgive you, they just won't forget.
Right. I won't forget it.
And I think forgetting, to me, is worse than forgiving, when a person can't forget.
Right.
And so, no, I think that's pretty amazing. I do. But in that moment, yeah, you really gave me the freedom, and it was like a green light. And there was no, whatever you think this is supposed to look like, just be you.
Just be you.
No, that was good
Yeah,
stuff.
that was the Holy Spirit. That was the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit, God, the Holy Spirit saw exactly where you were. And I just submitted. I just submitted to you.
You
because
did.
I had just come through that whole thing, not trying to be something else, or feeling like I need to do something else, and so I was able to just follow the Holy Spirit.
I love it. I love it. Good stuff. Good stuff. Okay, so I always like to ask people that are couples, if you could give, I know you talked about you and Shawana, but if you could leave a purposeful nugget with our viewers about your relationship, your 26-year marriage, and how would you encourage people? How would you say to people, 26 years is a long time and every day has not been perfect and easy. What has been that core thing? And I know you talked about realizing who she is, and I'm doing that because she's actually in the studio. I'm sorry, but
Okay.
what is that one thing that you would say to, okay, if you said it to me and my husband, newly married, what would you say? How would you encourage each of us to be our authentic self in the relationship? Because that's a little different than moving about in life. But as a couple, how do you stay authentic to Kenny, and how do you encourage Shawana to stay authentic to herself?
I think the first thing is got to be understanding. You got to understand what's it could be timing, it could be what phase your relationship in.
Oh, wow.
Just kind of understanding what's going on with your relationship, and I think to the point now, I think I've looked and I think I have a more understanding of what's going on in our relationship.
Gotcha.
Than to try to control all of my relationship. And so I give time to prayer. Of course, I give time to pray for my family. I spend a lot of time praying for my relationship and praying for my family, and then let my wife be who she is.
Aww.
Be who she is. I don't put all these demands on her and try to be a certain person or wear a certain thing. I don't get into all that.
Wow.
I just make sure I cover our family prayer and understand what season we're in, and just make sure that we're loving on each other and being there for each other.
Oh, I love that. I love that. This is so nice. This is so nice. I will definitely, we'll come back and we'll chat some more in another segment.
Okay.
But I appreciate you so much sitting here and just kind of sharing. I believe that people will want better and they will do better once they see this, because it's tough to live up to what you think other people want for you. But it's so sweet when you remain authentic to who you already know who God created you to be.
Right.
But the desire to be and to do like someone else is so it's so like society now.
It is. It is.
And it's pressure.
It is
it's so
pressure.
much pressure. But hopefully people have listened at this and they will be able to say, you know what? I love my gray hair. I ain't coloring it no more.
Right.
Or I love this about myself and I'm just going to keep living my best life with what I have and who God created me to be.
Absolutely.
I love that. I love that.
I know we're about to end, but just one more nothing about
Sure.
you know, you being your authentic self is put you in a position to help somebody else.
Wow.
If you try to be somebody else, then the somebody you're supposed to help, you're not in a position to help them
because you're out of place.
You're out of place. You're not being who God has called you to be.
Second podcast.
You know?
Get in position.
And so that's what I'm learning. Be yourself. There's certain people I'm going to touch by being my authentic self.
Just by being yourself.
If I try to be Mr. J, I'm not going to be good at it. I'm not going to be good at it. Mr. J is not going to be good at me. And
Oh my
so if I
goodness.
be myself, when the person comes to buy, the Lord brings the person by, then I'm able to help them.
You're able to connect and help.
Because I'm myself, and it's the right person that God has brought by my way.
Oh. Okay, yeah, we're going to talk about this again.
Can I say one more?
Yeah.
There's one thing I'm thinking about, the woman at the well with Jesus. And Jesus said, if you knew who I were, you would have asked me. So we got to know who we are. And then allow God to bring us by people that know who we are and be able to change their lives.
Because just the connection will change their lives.
That's a connection.
Oh my goodness. People, get in position, get in place. Okay?
There's some people you can easily if you being yourself, and that's a person that God has to bring by your life, you can easily minister to them.
Yeah.
Easy talk to them.
Yeah.
Easy get them on the right track. Easy help them because you're being yourself.
But if you're not being yourself, you can't even have a real conversation with them because, oh my goodness. Okay. Podcast, a second segment is coming. Stay in position. Stay in position. Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. Again, I was able to talk to Elder Brother Kenneth Felton. And I'm so excited. And thank you guys for hanging out with us. Remember, I am Thuana, your podcast host with On Purpose. This is On Purpose. And we're so excited that you join us. Remember, subscribe so that you never, ever miss a segment. And whatever you do it on purpose.